All right, we are here. Game 1. Lindo's almost ready. We gave him a little bit extra time here. He's got his cereal. He's got his smoothie.
That was pasta.
Strawberry
I was gonna say, how
banana.
you know cereal?
Is that strawberry banana?
It is indeed.
That's pretty good. I had one of those today too. All right, finals. I'm here with Nate Dogg. I'm here with Lindo Zay. What's up, guys? You ready for this? I still haven't even gotten the game going here. So
I'm not excited at all.
Nate, fill us in.
In Phoenix, Devin Booker took a terrible shot that ended up in an air ball when he should have passed it out to Jay Crowder, and that's what I got so far. Now it's 9-8, Milwaukee.
So
I don't feel anything in either direction for either team.
I agree.
I felt that
It's
way
like-
for a lot of the playoffs, but they've been so good that overcomes it. Like, I'm just sort of rooting for both sides going back and forth. Now, I want to see Giannis win the title, which Nate isn't going to agree with, but
Honestly,
that's
I'd rather see Giannis win a title than Chris Paul.
Really?
Yeah,
What's wrong with Chris Paul?
people.
The flopping?
He's too good to be doing that flopping shit, and then everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, Chris Paul is without a doubt better than Westbrook," and it's like Chris Paul's on a loaded team. Relax,
Nate doesn't want Chris Paul to win strictly for agenda reasons. Strictly.
I mean, either way, if I didn't want Giannis to win, it would be agenda reasons too.
He doesn't.
One,
he doesn't see
two,
those CP3 memes.
4,
and
5,
after
6, 7, 8.
All this counting Nate's been doing. I think
10,
Giannis
11,
has
12,
been on the free throw line like
13.
3 times.
13 seconds.
He's putting
I'm sorry,
in work.
Lindo. I'm sorry, Lindo. I'm counting every time.
You can't count every time. Our viewers
Yes, I
will
am.
leave.
They're probably counting with me.
All right, we got a chat up and running here. We'll put some people up. Soapy's in the house. My guy Soapy. We got Demetrius in here. So leave your comments. We'll throw them up throughout our stream here. So
Yeah,
Suns.
I agree with the finals logo comment. I think they should have had the trophy in the mid-court too.
That used to be awesome in Boston.
Yeah, I have no
10
idea
years
why they
ago.
took that away.
I think that was the last time they did that. Was like Boston 10 years ago.
Might be. It was
Wouldn't it
definitely
be
at least a
great
decade ago.
if the game just came down to the wire and they just sent Tim Donaghy into the game.
For who? I don't know. Does Silver have a rooting interest here? Probably not.
Probably for the Suns to make it more even. If
Look,
Giannis could hold the ball for 13 seconds at the free throw line.
I said it a couple days ago. This is just Adam Silver trying to get MAGA fans back into the NBA. He just found the locations where there's a ton of them and just said, "Look,
Phoenix?
we'll energize them."
Yeah, they the ones with
Arizona just had that audit.
Yeah, Arizona's big time with the audit,
Cyber-
but I guess you're right. Wisconsin, Arizona. All right. You don't really think of it when you're thinking about the cities, but you're right.
That was a nice block. Oh, is that a goaltend?
That's got to be a goal 10. All right, so 10-10. We're knotted up about 4 minutes in. It's hot in here. How's it feeling in Texas, Lindo? Another 100 degrees?
It was 85 today. It wasn't that bad.
Good pass.
I'm not even joking. There are days where it's
Good take.
many days where it's 95. So 85, it's whatever.
Ooh, Holiday, tough miss.
Oh yeah, y'all
I
definitely.
gotta be
gotta
like 15 seconds behind. This
Yeah, you go. Yeah.
So
But I'll
how
be
do
going out to
you?
the farces real quick.
I mean, I really didn't know how to feel about this series, considering the Giannis thing. And I really wasn't expecting Giannis to play, at least tonight. So that like completely threw a wrinkle in this series to the point where you probably think that Milwaukee has a slight edge, right?
It depends on how Drew Holiday plays. Because if Giannis is back and then Drew Holiday reverts back to Drew Holiday that we saw in the earlier parts of the conference finals, it doesn't matter.
And Ayton too. Because if Ayton's in foul trouble, Phoenix is in big trouble. I don't think they have good depth behind him. I mean, they could go small, like really small, and this series could end up going in a very small direction. But no matter what, now that Giannis is back, you're going to be dealing with Giannis no matter what, and I don't think small ball helps you against him.
I mean, the Suns are pretty good at moving the ball, so they'll probably find some shooters and end up trading threes for twos, which is something that I'm sure they would.
Soapy says the players are slipping on the finals logo, I guess.
Man.
That sounds like an urban legend.
They're slipping past half court. That finals logo was huge, though. It took up like half the court.
And it
in
was
its
beautiful.
prime.
Did you guys see the Spike Lee finals intro that they had, ESPN?
No.
It was good.
I missed all.
One I've seen in my lifetime.
I sent you guys the 2010 one.
Wow.
The 2010 one is the first one, if I remember it correctly.
The
That's Spike Lee
2010
one's
one
up
was no, I don't. That was just kind of like a montage of the finals of the past. Which, you know, lots of nostalgia going into this one for the 70s.
Yeah,
I don't know how many
both teams were relevant in a finals context.
How many people were watching? You'd have to be pretty old to remember those finals. Like, you're pushing 60 probably.
No, higher than that.
Dude, I'm telling you, Jimmy Carter being president was the last time these places had any talent.
Yeah, I know. And look at Jimmy Carter. I mean, he's still alive, but he's hanging on by a thread.
I don't know how. Have you seen him? Have you seen him, what he looks like?
Oh, he's old.
I be forgetting.
You know who's still alive? Dick Van Dyke.
Why is that why is that so it was on your mind?
Because he was
Is that against all odds?
Video, and I was like, dude, that guy's still alive. He's like 99.
There you go. Bill Russell's still alive. That's good.
Yeah.
He's way younger. How old is he? Like 80?
Yeah, he's still in his 80s.
His prime was in his 60s, so he's got to be way up there, like pushing 90 probably.
Oh no, he's definitely on the higher on the.
Low 80s.
Nah, he's high 80s for sure. He's high 80s.
All right, we're about to figure out Bill Russell's age.
83.
87.
He's 83. Oh, there you go.
No, he's 87. That's what I would have guessed, pushing 90. Hey, but he looks good. He was at the Hall of Fame a couple months ago.
Yeah.
I think it was at the one of the Hall of Fame speeches. He pointed at everyone and was like, "I'll kick your ass." That shit was fucking funny.
That's a classic meme. Him with his middle finger too. He was giving someone the middle finger once.
I've seen that before too.
That's another good meme. I mean, I guess.
Yeah, I don't have to keep showing the Giannis injury. Like, I don't want to see him get hurt every time.
There's that book out. I don't know what was the author's name, Sullivan or something, about the Nets and how they came together. I think that's what the book's about. I haven't really looked into it yet. The guys been making the podcast rounds. But one of the things you keep hearing is that Kyrie, whether you want to believe it or not, soured on Boston a little bit after talking to Bill Russell.
What are you talking about?
That's what I heard.
What are you? I wasn't following from even the beginning. That was a wild ride of a story.
Kyrie had a chat with Bill Russell about Boston, and
I appreciate how
unenthused about the city.
I appreciate how every single time we try to tell Bobby that the problem isn't Kyrie, it's Boston, he's like, no, and then he does shit like that and proves our point.
I know.
What? I'm just saying.
He's just a Boston loyalist, you know?
That's just a fact. I guess he talked to Bill Russell.
It's the Peabody in him. Damn, Middleton should have tried to slam that shit. Oh my God, they can't score that shit.
That's a good transition finish from Mikal Bridges. That guy is one of my favorite young players in the league. Yeah, you're a little bit ahead of me, and Lindo's just in the mud over there.
Oh, all right.
Like 20 seconds behind.
Literally.
Oh, it'd be like that.
What time are you at right now, Bobby?
5:25.
Okay, I'm like 3 or 4 seconds behind you.
Oh, so
I'm
we're
at
all within
5
the
minutes.
range.
No, Nate is way ahead. Nate was finishing
All right, I
counting
gotcha.
shit, and like Giannis didn't have the ball yet on my team.
Nate just
I just paused it a little.
Nate's
Should be
at the
better.
game.
Nate's at the game.
Nate's
The Andersons
at
got
the
tickets?
My iPod will not stay alive. All right, we're bringing the game back up on the computer. Maybe I'll be on Nate's speed now. I got this iPad for free, and I think it was worth the price because it
For
does
free?
not stay alive. Yeah.
Get
It's
it.
compromised.
And it got left in the mail for weeks, so I told Amazon it was gone, and then like a couple weeks later, it just showed up.
Did you get your money? Oh,
Yeah, they sent
So,
the money,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then the iPad arrived, but it was a $0 iPad for sure. All right, what do we got, Nate? Phoenix just
I'll
had
be
that
on
nice
one of those.
transition
I'm at
run.
407.
Middleton for 3.
Y'all probably still behind.
This series is so good now, though.
You
When
said
that
Middleton
Giannis
for
is
3?
back in.
How far behind am I?
I'm at 407.
I'm
Devin
at
Booker
407.
just made a free
Where'd you
throw.
just see Middleton for 3?
I thought I just saw him. That's what Mike Breen said.
I just saw
Why don't
Booker drive and get a foul.
we just say the time frame that we're at?
Booker first free throw.
This is great.
first
This
free
is great
throw.
streaming. Ooh. Devin Booker, man, his in between game is just beautiful. At this point, like those stuff he was doing against the Clippers, especially early on in that series, in between, was
Would you
awesome to
rather-
watch.
Would you
What does
rather
that
have
mean?
Booker or Mitchell?
At this point, Booker.
Why does everyone hate Donovan Mitchell?
Yeah, I don't understand. Mitchell is better than Booker.
Every time he's on the screen, like that comparison, everyone says Donovan Mitchell, kick him out.
When they put like 8 players up there and they're like dump one.
It could have.
No, that's not fair. I mean, they're
Donovan,
both in a similar place, I'd
Donovan
say,
Mitchell
right?
led the Jazz to the playoffs. This is Devin Booker's
Countless
first time.
years.
The screen could be like Porzingis and Kuzma and Mitchell, and you get kicked out.
Yeah,
All right, but that's when we get back to the Gobert thing, because Gobert does help push them through the
What
year.
are you
No, he
even
doesn't.
talking about?
No, he doesn't.
Where'd you even dig that name out of?
With the with the top end defense, he's the biggest reason for that.
No.
Still,
Bobby just
It's-
ran to the catacombs, the French underground funeral place.
ooh,
You know-
Cam Johnson.
He's the only Rudy Gobert stan I know.
No, I had to hinder it a little bit after this postseason run, but maybe he'll get his flowers next year. This was
Get
Giannis's
his
year.
flowers for
No, he won't. Donovan Mitchell will get.
Wait, Rudy Gobert will get his flowers for what?
For being a great player.
He's not a great player. At best, he's good.
Ooh,
He's not great.
Phoenix's role guys are reigning.
He's not great. He's not even top 25.
He's a great defender.
He's not top
Now
25.
the problem is he doesn't have the offense you need
So then he's not a
to
great
stay on
player.
the floor.
Patrick
You
Beverley's
can't
a
be great
defender.
by virtue of defense.
No, because then Patrick Beverley would be ranked so much more higher.
Yeah, where's Tony Allen on your list of guards? Bruce.
He was a
Bowen.
great player in his day. I mean, now since switching and like dropping all that stuff are so important.
And Rudy Gobert
The
is
s-
not good at switching. He gets
Yeah, but
abused
they
every
would
time.
drop him.
He gets abused every time, though. You can't be a defensive player of the year and then people routinely
Yeah, but we're
score
just
on you.
talking the playoffs.
Players can't target you, and you're the decoy.
Yeah, that makes no sense. That literally makes no sense.
Yeah, the perimeter stuff's a problem.
And it
for
wasn't
him.
even big men. It was Reggie fucking Jackson.
Last year.
No, they were going 5 wide with shooters, and so they were essentially making him play the perimeter all the time.
And then they would drive on Rudy Gobert.
Yeah. Terrence Mann had some key shots over Rudy Gobert too.
I'm rocking the tie like Omar in court.
It is amazing that a guy who's so good all year can.
I got the shotgun. You got the briefcase. The wire, anybody?
You know I'm too young
Nate's
for that.
got that.
You watch Snowfall over here.
Oh, indeed. I binged Snowfall.
Oh, did you?
The last 2 days.
I might watch The Wire soon.
I'm up to season 3, episode 2.
Okay. This shit is good, ain't it?
It is. But it's not The Wire. It's definitely not.
I can't out of all the shows I've watched, Snowfall is top 5.
Out of every
The
show
only other show I could think of, yeah. The only other show I could think of that's in that realm is probably The Robot.
Is what?
The Robot.
I've heard of it.
It's a good show.
Look, I don't know
though.
You kids be watching these days.
Windows on the old stuff.
What are the kids
it's the show that Rami Malek.
I spent the night watching Cartoon Network after we watched Rick and Morty that night, and there was some good stuff. Good stuff on there. I watched that show. I watched that show with the birds. Yeah. I thought that was pretty funny.
I think it was originally on, and then Adult Swim.
Yeah, it does seem like the kind of show that would get canceled. It just reminds me of another show that I like too.
What show?
Well, obviously it was made by the BoJack Horseman people there, right? So it reminded me a little bit of that one, obviously.
Oh God.
And then it seemed
BoJack
like you don't like that show, Wendo?
Absolutely not.
I wasn't crazy about it, but I get why the people who do like it. Our buddy Nemo is a big fan, I think. And then
Nemo knows good TV apparently.
What's that show? The show that's like the foods.
That was a carry.
The Talking Food?
Huh?
Talking Food?
No. The Adult Swim show, and there's like a red soda can as one of the what red.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Yes. Yeah, those shows, those shows really appeal to people like Bobby typically, and less so towards people like me.
What does that mean?
You know what I mean? People from Boston, I guess.
I would not watch that show.
I thought that was a foul. Good pass. Knockdown. Nope.
There's a good pace to this game so far, at least on the Phoenix end. Giannis, though, is looking like himself, just forcing his way in there, getting the free throws, blowing by guys. Jay Crowder is not going to work on Giannis. I heard that was talked about, and obviously I'm a big Crowder guy, but that's not going to cut it. He's too short and not strong enough.
I mean, he's a fucking.
It depends on where you play him. Yeah.
They're gonna need Ayton on him. I know they're gonna try to avoid that as much as possible, but that's the answer. Ooh, good steal.
I think Crowder could work. I think Crowder's a strong player.
I think it's a good starting point, but when they get to crunch time, Ayton's got to step in there and make those stops.
I mean, when they get to the crunch time, Giannis isn't touching the ball, so.
Fair enough.
Damn, Sarge. I thought he should have been Rookie of the Year. That
in
Embiid
Philly?
year when Embiid only played 30 games.
He was great in Philly. He gave Boston all problems.
Malcolm Brogdon.
Was Brogdon Rookie of the Year?
He was.
Yeah.
I don't
Milwaukee
think he
still
should have been
misses him
though.
bad.
Yeah.
Oh, they do they?
If Milwaukee
They're in
never
the
got,
finals.
That was wait, was that a
I
dunk?
know, but trade 5 first-round picks for Drew Holiday.
They're in the finals.
Well,
How far did they get with Brogdon? Oh,
I mean,
Giannis,
I think they would have had a
the
better
no
chance against
bag.
Miami last year with Brogdon.
Drew Holiday, Jason Kidd years.
Devin Booker's forcing it.
Remember when Jason Kidd spilled the ice on the court?
That was beautiful. That was the best piece of coaching I've ever seen.
Was that with the Lakers?
No, that
No,
was
that was
with
with
the
the
Nets.
Nets.
Best
When
piece
he
of
had
coaching
one
I've
of
ever
the
seen.
players just bump into him and he just threw
Oh,
the
yeah.
water on the ground.
Beautiful.
What was it to get?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that was unbelievable. And they want him to coach Mavericks.
That's a good pick. Better than Carlisle.
We'll see. It's not what he wants, obviously.
I bet he'll be welcome in Dallas.
Yeah.
Cowboys,
I'm pretty sure he'd rather
right down the road, so no strangers to domestic violence over there.
Hey, that's your state.
You're off the rails today.
Not my team.
As usual. I shouldn't even say today. As usual.
Huh?
You're off the rails as usual.
Me?
Yeah, you.
How am I off the rails?
Don't worry about it. The fact that you don't know proves my point.
How am I off the rails? Look, I don't know shit, but you never know anything. Whatever's going on, you're never there.
Did you guys catch Greg Popovich today?
No.
Yeah.
What do you do?
He called Ime Udoka a stalwart.
I haven't heard that word in so long. I forgot what it means.
Let's look it up. This is the new coach of the Celtics.
This segment
Loyal,
is brought to you by
reliable,
Webster Dictionary.
hardworking.
Cameron Payne shoot like he got a backpack on.
That's actually a pretty good use of the
goes
word
in.
stalwart.
All right, end of the first quarter.
And I pretty much missed it all. Stupid technology over here. This iPad. I'm plugging it into the wall. All right. Nate Dogg's out. Just me and Lindo. What do you think of the first quarter, Lindo? 30 to 26.
It doesn't even feel like the finals. Like,
Well, that's your. You got to get yourself pumped up for it. It's not on. The game's the game. You know what I mean? Is it not the finals because the Lakers aren't in it?
no, the Lakers were bad for a decade.
But still, they got the most appearances, right?
But the Lakers were bad for a decade. Like, so that's not what it is. I guess it's no elite team. Is there?
Did you expect the finals, the Lakers to be in the finals this year?
Did I expect it this year? Yes. And then LeBron got hurt, and Davis got hurt. The rest of the team decided we don't have to play.
Oh, the injury excuse.
It's not an excuse. Injuries are part of the game.
I know. The Celtics, it's so funny because them and the Celtics finished in the same spot, had pretty much the same season, and the Celtics got viewed as massive disappointments, had to fire their GM, their coach, essentially, and, you know, do this restart. And the Lakers, it's just all injuries.
Yeah, but look at the team that was playing when they were injured.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, the Celtics weren't that great roster-wise either, but the way they ended the year was so terrible that I generally agree with the decisions they made.
Like, you don't have to fire Rob Pelinka because Kyle Kuzma's terrible.
What are you going to do with Kuzma? I seen some Twitter account today was like, oh,
Ni hao! Ni hao!
the Lakers are going to trade Kuzma for Kemba. Doesn't Kuzma make like $7 million?
You made that up. No one.
I didn't make that up. That Twitter account made that up.
Bobby, you're out of thin air. You created that.
I was fact checking it.
But yeah, you fact checked. You hypothesized and then said, "Let me go and see what I can dig up on that."
You think I run that NBA account?
Yes.
Kyle Kuzma salary.
I saw that they're thinking of him and someone else in a pick for DeRozan. Doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't make sense either. Do people realize what kind of position the Lakers are in? Their salary is like $165 million.
I think it's 120.
Is it?
Next season, it'll be 120.
All right, Nate's back.
What are you guys talking about?
I'm talking about the Lakers.
Bobby's creating transfer rumors and then saying he heard transfer rumors.
Transfer? What is this? The Premier League?
Free agency rumors.
What's the free agency rumor?
The Lakers can't get free agents. That's it. Like, this is Lakers fans or people like around the Lakers. They're like, oh, we're completely capped out, but we're still gonna find ways to get free agents.
Otto Porter, MLE.
That works, but you can't get 20,000 retweets tweeting about Otto Porter.
Otto Porter, re-sign McLemore, find a way to get rid of Kuzma. I'll take a rookie that's bad over Kuzma. At least I'll have no expectations.
Oh, Kuzma makes $13 million starting next year. That's getting you closer.
I read someone say on a Kuzma package for DeRozan. Someone said that would be great for the Spurs because if Kuzma's starting, then the Spurs will be a lottery team.
Well, I am sure the Spurs would love to get something for DeRozan. So they'd obviously listen.
Is Kuzma something?
Would you rather have Kuzma or nothing?
Nothing.
It'd have to be Kuzma and KCP. Which is fine. You'd probably do that, right?
He ain't about that life.
No. Why would you give up Kuzma for or KCP for DeRozan?
Just to make the money work. That's really the only way you can do it.
Are they playing a fucking video game? Just to make the money work?
Would you send Harrell?
Yes.
He's got a player option. He's probably going to opt out, right?
That's not a guarantee.
He can make more than $9 million, couldn't he?
He ain't getting no minutes in the playoffs.
He finished badly with the Clippers, and then he just obviously it was because of rotations. Didn't really get to show off on the Lakers, so it's kind of hard to market himself. But I'm sure in today's NBA, I'm sure he'd get more money. But
yeah, there's not a lot of money out there this summer, so I'm sure some guys like him might think about kicking back to next summer after that. But again, it's $9 million. He could easily get more than $9 million.
What has Chris Paul done so far?
At least from the Lakers, because the Lakers probably need to keep him. They got no center help.
The Lakers need to abandon this idea that they're gonna have they need to just recognize AD is the 5. Like Rob Pelinka.
Well, that's their biggest problem.
No, AD needs to recognize AD as the 5.
Huh?
AD needs to recognize AD as the 5.
But he's just soft. He doesn't want to take on the responsibility, the physical
That's what I'm
responsibility.
saying. He needs to do it. It's not the
tell
Lakers.
him, you're the 5. Like you're the center.
Because then he'll be like, trade me or something.
This is what
He's
we do.
Say, trade me.
This is what we do during.
If he goes to another team, guess what that team's gonna say? You're the 5.
And he'll be like, trade me again.
He already signed that massive deal.
He's gonna have the most trades in NBA
Jeff
season.
Teague for 3.
What's it called? When he came in 3rd for MVP a couple years ago, he was playing center.
Yeah.
Like when he played great last year, he was center. Like,
yeah. No, I agree with you. I'm just saying he doesn't.
Hey, that's why he held the Chicago Bulls over their head for about a year, but now he's signed, so what's he going to do? He's not going to demand a trade.
Does demanding a trade even matter in the NBA?
Yes.
It's work for everybody, pretty much.
Really?
Yeah. It's why Harden went to the. It's why Harden was able to get to the Nets.
Yeah, but the Rockets were so stupid. I mean, when the Pelicans traded Davis, that was actually a pretty good trade, you know? Got some real good guys, ton of
And what's
picks.
crazy is who got fired because of that? They got less than what they could have got.
What would they have gotten more than that?
Talking about the Rockets or the
Probably
Pelicans?
Kuzma. Lakers were
Pelicans,
going to
right?
literally trade everything to get
At that-
AD, and
at
they
that
said
point-
no just because Popovich hit him up and was like, "Don't do it."
At that point, Kuzma was more valuable than Brandon Ingram.
No.
Yeah, but it
Brandon
turned out the
was.
other way.
It did turn out the other way, but at that point, Kuzma was more valuable than Ingram.
I actually generally agree with that because then the Lakers would have kept Ingram.
Ingram had the health problems.
Ingram also
He was
made more
blood clot or
money.
something, so you
Ingram's
didn't
more
really
of a
know when
starter
he was going
than
to play.
Kuzma is.
No,
Yeah,
you're
but-
1,000% right, but at the same time, if you don't know if someone's going to play because of health issues, the person who can play is more valuable.
Ingram was raw
Yeah.
back then too. He really took
Yeah,
off
but
once he
Ingram
got to
is-
New Orleans.
Ingram's like a real starter, and Kuzma's not, and that just wouldn't work if you have two stars. Like,
Listen, I was big
Yeah.
on Kuzma back then.
huh?
I thought a bunch of teams really missed out on him, but looking back on it, it just seems like he had to reshape his game too. I think for the role he's playing now,
Yeah,
but
my
at
issue
the
is that
same
he didn't
time,
play defense.
you got to be better in the playoffs than he was.
If you're not a superstar on offense and you don't play defense, I don't think you're gonna make it far in the league.
Here's the
Kuzma
thing, though,
plays
Linda.
defense.
Wasn't he part of a title team,
Who?
Kuzma?
Yeah,
I mean,
last
yeah.
year.
So he must have done something.
Kuzma plays defense. He's just terrible on offense. He has no IQ, and he's not a good shooter.
Yeah, he's become a scrapper on that
But
end.
He's better
he's a
on-
good defender.
Yeah, he was better on. I mean, when he first came in, I'm saying he was better on offense than he was on defense. But that was also because there wasn't a scouting report on him yet, I suppose.
You remember there was Kuzma versus Jason Tatum debates,
Yeah,
I remember well.
and
God
it was
damn.
a real debate. Now it's like
Hey, I was a big Kuzma defender back in the day.
now it's like
over
Kyle
Tatum.
Kuzma versus I don't even know.
No,
Mike-
I definitely didn't have him
Michael
over
Beasley.
Tatum.
Kuzma over Montrezl Harrell.
Is that fair? It's
What?
probably fair.
I'll still take Montrez.
I'll tell you, Montrez's stock went
Dude,
in the
he's
toilet practically
he's
within the
still
last year or
good.
so.
he just didn't fit the rotations. He's still good.
They thought Lou Williams and Harrell was like the new Steve Nash Amari, and then all of a sudden they were both gone.
Dude, Trez, if AD knew he was a 5 and was healthy, and you put Trez at the 4, it would have worked.
100%.
I
That'd
feel
be a
like-
good duo,
I
right?
feel like they would
But-
be playing position like the way they play. AD would still be by default the 4, and Harrell would be the 5.
There's just too much perimeter action in the league nowadays. I think that size thing worked for the Lakers for a year. They ended up drawing a good matchup in the finals for it, all that kind of stuff. Then
If
this
you had
year,
Dwight instead of Drummond, it would have worked. They wouldn't have won the title this year, but they wouldn't have
well, I
won.
told you those guys were real deal losses.
Yeah,
McGee
Dwight,
and him.
Like, Andre Drummond is one of the
Dwight
worst fucking
Showed up.
finishers I've ever seen in my life. He's terrible.
So we
I'm happy that
debated-
dodged that bullet.
We debated on the Garden Report because obviously the Celtics were interested in Drummond back then. You know, Rob was starting to emerge in Boston. You already had to give Tristan minutes. So it was like, is there really room for Drummond here? And I've never been a Drummond guy. But the one thing you knew back then is that he was going to have like a mandate to start and play a ton of minutes, and it'd be a big issue if he wasn't. Which, you know, under Stevens especially, that wasn't really going to work. You know, he runs like a big man by committee pretty much. Matchups and, you know, fit and who's playing well and all that stuff. And he goes to the Lakers, who essentially gave him that like starting role, all the minutes you could ask for, blah, 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 blah. And he still went out today and was talking like he didn't get enough minutes. He said he could be playing like 8 and if he played more. It's like, what?
He played too many minutes, if anything.
I don't know what's wrong with this guy. Like
Drummond
he reminds
is not
me
a
of
good- he's just not a good player. That's
Yeah.
what's wrong.
he's a poor man's prime Dwight who still has like that
Don't do
Dwight
that.
What does
mentality.
that even mean?
Don't do that.
No, Dwight can
Don't do that.
finish
Yeah, Dwight
Yeah.
was one of the best
and
finishers
was a
in the game at
defensive
one
player
point.
of the year.
Yeah,
But even at his best, he still undermined himself by trying to be like a ball in his hand
but he
star
was
kind
still a
of player.
superstar.
Dude, Drummond's only talent is rebounds, and he only gets so many because he misses so many. Like,
Is that true?
yes, he
And
like
He is an outstanding rebounder.
he
dude,
is. He's one of the
Drummond
best
would be at
rebounders
like
in the game.
4
That's
or
it.
5 rebounds like halfway through the first quarter.
Well, here's the thing: rebounding matters less than ever before. You know, like getting back on defense matters a lot more than getting a bunch of offensive rebounds and being the best rebounding team.
Yeah, he's not that type of run the floor big.
Yeah, you gotta have some mobility, perimeter action. I still think defense matters so much. What are we looking at here in the finals? These are the two best defensive teams really all year long.
The Lakers
I-
were the best defensive team.
They were.
Yeah, these two were really good too.
And the Warriors were top 5.
Draymond Green. Jazz were up there.
Top 5. Couldn't even make the fucking playoffs.
Let's see who the best defenses were.
How is Harden going to do it with the Rockets this year?
How was Harden going to do with the Rockets this year?
What kind of question
is
is that?
Those Rockets?
Second round exit.
I had them as the 8th seed. They were going to be much worse. They might not have made the playoffs.
I mean, if Harden wasn't going to demand out, I assume Westbrook would still be there. So I'd say second round exit.
All right, here's my caveat. Bucks and Suns were the best defensive teams in the playoffs. Best teams all year defensively: LA, Philly, Utah, Knicks, Warriors. Good call, Nate. Suns were 6.
Oh, no, I'm
Say
going to remember that
good call.
forever.
He only knows that so he can say Steph Curry failed.
Grizzlies, Clippers, Bucks were 9. So you had 2 of the top 9 defenses here.
That came so quick to him just because of his agenda. The anti-Steph agenda. Bang that. Middleton's nice.
We got a good game, Lindo. Chris Paul shaking it up. Turnaround, no good.
That's Frank Kaminsky in a finals game.
Both these teams are really trying to get into the zone quick. Middleton.
I thought he got the lead by now.
Is that Torrey Craig?
Yes, it
the
is.
NBA 2021 NBA champion, Torrey Craig.
You still got the Suns, Nate?
Oh, no matter what, he wins a ring because he was on the Bucks this year, too. Or
Get out of
he
here.
was on both teams.
He's not taking an L and a ring.
He's getting a ring. He's getting a ring. He's the only team.
He will not accept the ring if he
doesn't
loses
matter.
the series.
Who
Either
did
way,
that?
he's a champion.
From the Cavs. Was it Barbosa?
Patrick McCall, I feel like.
I also
No,
don't think he was on the Bucks this year, was
Yes,
he?
he was.
Was it
Yes, he was.
Varejao?
Might have been Verjao.
How'd he
I
end
think
up in
it was
Phoenix?
He played
They
for the
probably
Cavs, and
traded
then he
for
went
him.
to the Warriors. And he was like, I'm not going to take it if I lose.
Oh my God, he got traded in March for cash. That's weird.
Yeah. He's a 2021 NBA champion.
Good call, Nate. Nate's bringing a ton to this broadcast. That's not.
He didn't even play a
That's
finals
not a
game
trade
yet.
you
He's
remember.
an NBA champion. I only saw it. I don't
Huh?
remember it because I saw it on Twitter.
Middleton around the screen, going downhill. Is that Frank Kaminsky in the game?
I just said that.
Bobby, what time are you at?
Ooh, Devin Booker. Another good in-between shot. That's what you look for with him. We're at 4:31, Linda.
It's at 4:31.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just gonna be ahead of
Bobby,
y'all
I think
forever.
you're behind me. Pause. I think your stream is slower than
Okay.
mine.
Really? Let me go live. There's a live button.
Bobby, you
No,
probably
that's
should
not a
have known, like,
foul. That's a foul, though. Chris Middleton tried to draw this jump shot foul. He was out of bounds there.
Where's all our friends? This is terrible. We have about 7 friends in the chat, and here we are, just the 3 of us.
Look, and you know what? I came through even though I'm in pain.
That's huge.
That
I'll always remember that.
There, thank you.
All right.
I still can't believe you thought I knew.
Oh wow, he stayed in.
I think we got a lot of competition tonight, but it's all good. We're enjoying our views here. All right, I'm at 358, Lindo. Am I back in tune?
No,
Oh
you're
no,
9
I'm at
seconds
340. Yeah, you
Oh, well,
wild over
whatever.
there.
Wow, we're all like 9 seconds apart. Nate, me, then Bobby.
Hey, if I'm in the rear, then I'll just come through with the reaction,
Pause.
and we can all
Pause.
we can all discuss in hindsight. Ooh,
That's off.
Connaughton's got to be good for the Bucks to win the series.
Come on,
Wait,
man.
what happened? Wait, what'd you say?
What part of the broadcast is this? He said Connaughton's got to be good for the Bucks to win the series.
He's got to be. I think this is more a Connaughton series than a Tucker one. Who does Tucker need to shut down?
This is more a Connaughton series than a Giannis one.
Listen, it's not all about the stars. The role players are going to swing this thing. And right now, the Suns' role players are on fire.
That's like when George Lucas said Jar Jar Binks was the key to what was the first one? Phantom Menace.
thank
He was
you.
like Jar Jar.
Right now,
Charge.
8 and 5 of 6. We got 1 or 2 from Craig, 2 or 3 from Johnson. Campaign as a 3 on 2 attempts. Those are some important contributions right now.
Yo, Giannis really can't do anything without fouling. That's crazy.
That was a good. Shut up. That was a good ass defensive play.
It was a foul though on Giannis.
Good stop, Crowder. Crowder is so important.
Dude, oh my god.
He's the only player. He's the only player with finals experience.
Let's
Oh
line
God.
it up.
I never
Finals
thought I'd
last
say
year.
that.
He was so good on that Grizzlies team last year before the trade. He was awesome on the Jazz. He was great on the Celtics on their Eastern Conference Finals run. And then before that, people forget this. He was in that Rajon Rondo trade with Dallas. They sent him to the Celtics for Rondo. He was killing it that year with Dallas.
What does that mean?
He was playing great defense, providing awesome energy for that team. Those were
What do you mean by that?
Those were the Dirk Mavs that started as the 4 seed. They were one of the best teams in the league that year. This was 2014.
I had the Burger King chicken sandwich the other day. So mediocre. I hadn't eaten Burger King
long one?
since Syracuse. And Ryan convinced me 6'6". He said, Isaiah, you gotta try the Burger King chicken
The long
sandwich.
one? It's like a sub?
No,
they have like
sandwich.
the actual sandwich or whatever.
Yeah.
No, you gotta get the
McDonald's
long
has
one.
one too.
It's like the Chiking or whatever. Most mediocre
Yeah.
shit. I
Lindo.
only thought of that because KFC came on the screen.
Lindo, you should
try KFC sandwich.
Lindo, you should have got the long one. They have a long sandwich. It's like a sub.
I don't know why
one
people eat. I don't know why
Dude,
people eat chicken sandwiches from anywhere aside from Popeyes or Chick-fil-A.
If you're on the go.
Burger King forever, hopefully.
What'd you say?
Here's the thing about Chick-fil-A and Popeyes and those special places, Nate.
Here we go.
I'm not gonna take a trip to one of those spots to get fast food. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta go.
You're the reason why Burger King's still in business.
If I care about quality, I'm not getting fast food.
It depends.
Fast food, I only want out and about. I'm in a jam. If I'm getting off the train,
if you're getting a chicken
not all
sandwich,
fast food is made the same.
Pay for that? Like, where are you getting a chicken sandwich from that's not fast food?
Oh,
Facts.
there's all kinds of places. A bunch of
Like?
restaurants have great chicken sandwich.
Name one.
They're all local. You guys won't know it.
So name one.
Peabody's famous chicken sandwich.
I've had a couple great chicken sandwiches in Peabody. In the
Popeyes has
Peabody,
best
the
chicken
greater
sandwich I've ever
Peabody
had.
area.
There's not one chicken sandwich in the whole fucking town.
Get out of here.
There's not one.
Hey, I can even make my own chicken sandwich.
But
Think of that.
see, that's a different conversation. We're talking about getting one.
Yeah,
All
we're talking
right.
about purchasing one. That's already made.
Hey, I wasn't as behind as you guys made it seem. I'm back on the
You
iPad
were
right
9
now.
seconds. I told you exactly how far behind you were.
Oh, you're talking about me being behind now? Giannis is putting in work. I gotta give a ton of credit to Giannis, and you should too, Nate. Gritting this out, playing
Yeah.
this game. He was
It's
doubtful
impressive.
to start the day.
Nate, are you more of a Popeyes or Chick-fil-A kind of guy?
Popeyes.
Really?
The
Yes.
Popeyes one, I had it once. It was really good.
Popeyes is
Chris
they
Paul.
perfected that.
Yeah, but the problem is just the classic discussion that Chick-fil-A is the same sandwich everywhere I go, but Popeyes could be completely fucking different one day to the next.
That's true.
But that's how you know it's real. Not
What do you
all
mean
chicken.
that's how you
Real.
know it's
Not
real?
all chicken. Not all chicken is going to be the same size and same texture and shit.
This is how we get back to how big of a difference is there between the fast food conversation.
There's a huge difference.
Huge.
Chick-fil-A,
If you can't tell the difference between a Whopper and a Big
I
Mac,
can tell
don't know
the
what to tell
difference,
you.
but it's not huge.
Yes, it is. I could tell you could put 5 sandwiches in front of me right now, and I'll be able to tell you.
That's not what I mean. I mean the
Bobby,
quality difference
If I've
isn't
had-
that
Bobby,
great.
if you put Chick-fil-A nuggets out versus anywhere else's nuggets, you'll know this is not.
That's not what I mean. I'm not saying there's no difference. I'm saying it's not like Chick-fil-A is like fine dining and McDonald's is like hell over here.
No, that's what it is. In the realm of fast food, that's what it is.
Yes, but it's still all the realm of fast food. It's all right here
But there's
together.
higher quality fast food and low quality fast food.
Yes, I agree, but there's still it's like
Shake Shack and McDonald's are not in the same ballpark when it comes to burgers.
it's like light. You know, light's like this long. You ever seen like the light spectrum?
Bobby, if you go to a restaurant and get a burger, are you saying that burger is going to be that much better than Five Guys?
Yes.
Like it's just going to be not even close.
Now there's some
not.
restaurants with terrible burgers, but again, it's all still outside of that tiny window of fast food. If you look at like the light spectrum, it's this long.
Their beef.
Light you can see, this long. That's like fast food right there. It's all like clumped together. So Chick-fil-A might be like right here, but McDonald's is right here. So like
No, it's
within
not.
that little,
No,
it's a big difference.
But that's I'm talking about burgers.
Shake Shack and
high-end
McDonald's
fast
in
food
terms of Shake Shack and McDonald's in terms of burgers are not.
Linda,
They're
let's
not.
say a really good burger at a restaurant versus a really good fast food burger.
Shake Shack has the best
It's-
burger I've ever had.
It's different universe.
No, because not everywhere knows how
I'm
to
the biggest
season
burger
properly.
person, so I can't really speak on it.
Oh,
But I feel like if you
Oh,
serve
boy.
someone a Five Guys burger at
the
some
Kupo block coming,
restaurant,
by the way.
they'd be like, "That's good."
I don't know if you. I feel like
Another
I'm ahead of it.
3 by a
ahead of
Suns roll guy. The Suns are
Bro,
really
answer this.
amazing me.
Giannis just wiped out Mikal Bridges' block. Oh, okay. Now they're gonna start with the hyperbole. I don't like this anymore.
Oh, what
I
a
was giving him his
block
credit.
by
I was
Giannis.
giving him his credit, and then Jeff Van Gundy had to say it looked like the LeBron block against Golden State.
He means visually, not in terms of impact.
No, all I'm saying is
Yeah,
it's
but
not
people
Giannis's
do-
fault. It's not
people do
Giannis's
chase
fault.
down
I don't like
blocks
him.
all the time.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, it did kind of look like it, Nate. Come on. That looks exactly like it.
But relax. Like, come on, guys, relax.
That's
looks
actually-
It's that same hyperbole that compares Paul George's 40-point game to KD's game 5.
That's
Like,
not
relax,
what he
guys.
meant. He meant it looked exactly like it, just in terms of how the play looked.
Oh, airball. Relax, guys. Why can't we just enjoy things for
Bobby,
what
that's
they
just
are?
what a chase down block looks like. Like
No, what if it was off the top left corner of the backboard?
So now you know context and nuance. But when we talk about that, you don't understand the concept.
Oh my lord, I am way behind you, Nate. I just saw the air ball. No, I still love the way Phoenix played this half. They're just so locked in. Everybody knows their role. I think they've been solid defensively, good enough. And offensively, they're just clicking right now.
How much of it is really Chris Paul's leadership, and how much of it is Monty Williams being a competent coach?
It's a little bit of everything. I think these role guys they have are incredible too. Johnson's just a knockdown shooter. Crowder does everything he needs to do. Bridges does a little bit of everything on both ends of the floor.
Bridges
Then you got
is underrated.
Then you got
They have some good underrated players.
and Campaign. The way he helped them get by when Paul was out, that was huge.
Campaign had a good campaign.
You have a team right here that has
Nobody caught
role
that.
players, stars,
My fault.
and impact at a bunch of different positions. I mean, Aiden's putting together one of the best playoff runs by a center ever.
Kind of makes you think that Rudy Gobert is replaceable, huh?
No, Aiden's a number one pick. This is what a number one pick should be doing.
Well, I'm just saying.
Windows out.
Rudy Gobert is more replaceable than Donovan Mitchell.
That's true. But that's the name of the game today. Do you think centers are still important, or it's all situational? Because honestly, this thing they talk about where
they're definitely important.
Well, everyone's using
They're for
like
sure
Gobert. Everyone's using Gobert and Jokic, or not Gobert, Embiid and Jokic as an example. They're practically perimeter players.
No, Embiid is a perimeter player because it has to be. Because Ben Simmons doesn't know where to be on the floor.
But that's a big part of what makes him great.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, primarily, if it was up to him and if it was up to everyone on that team except for Ben Simmons, he would be in the paint like 75% of the time. It's really because Ben Simmons has no place anywhere, and it's better for him to be closer to. Well, we thought that it was better for him to be closer to the rim than it is for him to be on the perimeter, until he missed or didn't take that layup. It's not Embiid's fault. Like everyone is like, "Oh, Embiid, get in the paint," but it's not Embiid's fault. I saw Embiid literally be forced to take mid-range jumpers at the free throw line because he couldn't go anywhere because Ben Simmons' man was in the paint. It's not Embiid's fault.
I agree. I'm just saying a big reason they've reached the echelon they're on as players is because they're doing a ton of work on the perimeter.
I mean,
if those guys were just killing it inside, they'd be solid role players.
Nah, but Jokic can run the team in the post.
That's what makes him special. You know, there aren't many centers that are passing like that. That's true.
Like it doesn't really matter where you put him. He's gonna find the open man, and if they make the shot or not, it's up to them. But they're gonna be open.
Well, that's the difference between a Jokic and a Rob Williams, who I think can be really great too.
It's just the versatility. You try to tell me that Rob Williams should be a primary playmaker for the Celtics, and
no,
bruh,
Jokic.
I remember that.
I'm saying he could aspire to do that one day, but he's nowhere close right now.
Zay, you heard that?
Bobby said Jar Jar Binks is the key. He said Rob Will is the key.
You guys watch Rob Williams this year? I'm going to do it. There you go, Nate.
He's a good player. He's a very good player. Is he going to be a primary playmaker? No, but he's a very good player.
You don't think he could get there?
No. Why?
Because he's got the vision. He's got the height. He's got the touch on his passing.
No, he could be a good passer and not a primary playmaker.
Could he be an Al Horford style playmaker?
Potentially.
There we go. That's good enough for me. We'll start with just being able to stay on the court. That's going to be a good step. All right, I'm boosting our SEO like crazy right now. We're gonna have 1 million viewers in a second.
SEO is the name of the game.
Nate, give a shout out to your interview. It was good stuff.
Oh, wow, thank you. At Old Milk Media on Instagram and Twitter. New podcast out titled It's All Opinion. First guest was Anthony Obas, and we just talked about the NBA playoffs and mad other stuff. So yeah, check it out. It's on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Verbal, mad places, man.
So
Now,
you're doing
how'd you get Mr. Obas on the show? I know he's a real difficult guy to get in contact.
Oh my God, we've never had him on one of these streams.
He's
We
very
can only dream.
He's difficult for certain people, but I don't fit in that category.
Okay.
There we go. Look at these people spilling in. This guy's pissed that we're actually not streaming the game. It's on ABC. You don't have wires, you know, the
You
earphone.
can go to any local establishment in your state and watch the game.
The rabbit ears. All you need is rabbit ears to watch this game.
Yeah.
Let's give the
Bobby,
people
what do you-
some.
Taylor, man.
What do you think
Good
of
for her.
Applebee's, TGI Fridays kind of places?
I used to love them. The most elite of them all is Outback, which I still love. But when it comes to
Outback in like 10 years more.
when it comes to those kind of places, the Boston version's 99. I'm just not into it anymore. It's a cheap place to drink, but honestly, I'm not just going to a place to drink. I need good food too.
Bobby's
Applebee's
got these
went downhill.
Peabody,
No, Applebee's went downhill.
Massachusetts must be the cuisine capital of the world. This guy's standards for some random suburb is out of this fucking world.
There's lots of good stuff. The best Italian restaurant outside of Italy I've had right here.
I mean, that's just a testament to how few Italian places you've been.
Yeah, I would think that New York has the best Italian restaurants. Like,
Well, we'll check that out in a few weeks, Nate. Start making the list.
I'm not. You make the list.
You live there.
All right, and
you should know.
No, I'm more into Asian cuisine. I like ramen noodles and shit. Not packet ramen noodles, but like actual ramen.
Then we'll never know.
Clear.
We'll never know the state of Italian food in New York.
No, we can. You just have to ask Obas.
Hey, if you want to know the best pizza places, I have that online.
The pizza in New York is the real deal. Although New Jersey, here's the thing about New York. New Jersey's right.
Bros.
You gotta think the quality for the price. Two Bros is the best.
No.
They're the best pizza for the price for $1
really,
for that to be that good. It's the best pizza.
Isn't. Panhandle for $3 and get a good slice.
I'm not paying more than $2.50 for a slice. I'm not paying more than $2.50 for a slice.
Look,
that's tourist behavior.
Going to Joe's is tourist behavior.
That's tourist behavior. I'm not paying more than $2.50 for a slice.
My God! And what is Two Bros if not tourist behavior?
Two Bros is a New York staple. It's everywhere.
What is Two Bros?
It's a pizza. It's a pizza chain. Yeah,
right next to Times Square.
It's honestly everywhere.
Yeah, MSG.
There's a couple of them.
Yeah, it is not even. It's everywhere. It's legitimately everywhere.
I got ripped for going to Best Bagels. Isn't that the same kind of idea?
You said Best Bagels?
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is. I haven't had a bagel in years.
That's the bagel version.
Yeah, I don't.
You never ate a bagel in like a dining hall?
I said in years. I haven't been to a dining hall in years.
We've been out of college for years, and
you guys weren't you class of 2020? You haven't been out years.
Yeah, I haven't been in a dining hall in years.
Over 1 year.
Last time I went to a dining hall was probably.
Oh, that's true, because you wouldn't have been there senior year. Yeah, so we're talking 3 years, Linda.
Wait, why?
Because I started cooking myself.
We evolved.
Look, me and Obas did. We was outside swipes. He was right outside.
and then Obas all of a sudden figured out how to cook, and he was cooking some cuisine.
Did you have a sign? Swipes, please.
We didn't need
capital
no
Q.
sign. You just needed patience.
With patience, you could have anything.
Because white kids are gonna give you some random ass excuses. Oh, I don't have it. Oh, I'm not even going to get food. Blah, all that stuff. And say, okay, thank you, sir, and then just wait for some random white girl. Oh my God, yes. Do you guys
What
want
I
a
used to
burger?
do, what I used to do was wait for the end of the year for people to not use up all their money, and I would just like ask people to buy me sals and shit. That was legit.
Oh my God, please, you guys have to sit with us. It would be so great if you guys hang out with us.
Sal's was amazing. That's the one Syracuse spot.
People would
that
get
I'd
that
go back to.
delivered.
Sal's?
So that's the one. Yeah, Sal's
What was
People,
is legit.
people would get salads delivered.
You know what
Sal's?
Sal's is? It was like fried chicken, French
Oh, yeah.
fries,
You had Sal's
steaks.
money. So you was eating two bros, but you had Sal's money?
They gave it to me on the card, homie.
Sal's wasn't
Sal's was
expensive.
expensive. It was, but
Sal's
Sal's was
money.
good.
Bobby,
Sal's
for
was worth it.
Syracuse, Sal's was money.
You're right.
That's true.
It was worth it though.
Okay, so
Especially when the only other option is Domino's or Chipotle.
You didn't want to be
I
eating Domino's.
dude, the way Syracuse treated Chipotle, you'd think it was real food.
I mean,
Absurd.
for Syracuse standards, it was.
You know what I missed? Wings
What's
over.
that?
Wings over.
That was real solid.
It was
I miss
calm.
Wings over.
I feel like I could get the same feeling from a Wingstop.
All right, let's do it. How's Maria Taylor doing?
Oh, is the game
Amazing
back?
as always. No, it's not back yet.
What'd you
But she's
guys
doing
make of the
amazing
big
as always.
scandal? I woke up.
Who cares?
I woke up Saturday morning, Monday morning. Yeah, Monday morning. I read the whole article. Woj was in there saying that Rachel's not a team player. That was probably my favorite part.
Apparently, I said this in the chat. Amin Al Hassan has something to say about Woj, apparently. So
Yeah.
it's just I don't know. I feel like
Well, I didn't get to listen to that Levitard interview because they were talking to Jamel Hill about the whole situation.
Yeah, I don't necessarily
as well.
care about what Jamel Hill has to say.
Well, she did work at ESPN, so.
I mean, yeah, but there's a certain level of credibility that people lose when they do certain things.
Nate, Bobby won't. He won't understand why.
Yeah.
Bobby, Jamel Hill is an outcast to black people.
She's
a black sheep. So,
I get it.
I didn't like the way that she was during this whole get everybody to vote thing. She was trying to target black men specifically. I didn't like that.
I just don't like her.
So
the Rachel Nichols thing, who cares? That's just what white people act like. That's just who they are. Like,
Yeah.
people not surprised. I'm not.
I wasn't surprised. No, I wasn't surprised. But I do think that since it got out, she should get out of here. And I also learned that she's related to Diane Sawyer, so she doesn't even deserve her job in the first place. Yeah, so
I think that
I was like, okay.
I think that lineage is on her husband's side or something like that. I read, but either way, should you lose your job for what she did?
I'm gonna be biased and say yes.
Who cares?
I think in her position, yes.
Like you shouldn't be out here and every single time you have an episode of your new show, you're out here saying, "Oh, I'm pro black people," and then behind the scenes you're not. Like, you gotta go. When you get exposed, you gotta go. You might as well have just not said anything.
Rachel, you're not a team player.
That was great. I can't imagine Woj saying that. But, I mean, the response, I told you guys this earlier, the response was just shocking. Like, I just don't understand how there's no, like, game plan for this. It's just, let's ride the wave and see where it goes. And so one day we're going to feel good enough to put the show back on the air. and do our little apology and jump right into a PJ Tucker interview, and then the next day the show's off the air.
I mean, she less time to apologize than shoot a free throw. So, is it really genuine?
I mean, either with her or moving on from her. You know what I mean? You gotta pick one and know right from the start.
Well, you know,
and again,
ESPN is down before they start doing anything. They're gonna wait it out. They're gonna see if it disappears. That's what's happening right now.
What do you think of how many people came out to defend her?
It was weird.
Predictable.
That was weird. Yeah, predictable, but weird.
I don't think it was that weird.
No, it was. I didn't like Kendrick Perkins talking about thank you for taking accountability or whatever. Like, dude, what does that have to do with anything? Like,
well, that's my thing. That's how I ultimately feel about it. What accountability was taken? Because just like getting like blown by it and saying like whoops and really frankly making excuses. I think so many people on her side especially were talking about like, oh, there was a spy cam in the room, which really wasn't what was happening there. Like, I don't think that's a valid excuse at all.
People
it was her fault,
say that
from
when
what
they
I've heard.
disagree with the information that comes out, but when they agree with it, they're like, well, who cares how we got the information?
Yeah. I mean, from what I heard, it was her fault anyway because she didn't know how to properly. So it's nobody's fault but hers. And then they.
Well, that's the thing too. I mean, she's you're right about that, Lindo, because like that's ultimately like she's in journalism, and that's like a virtue of journalism. Like you're not gonna fuss about like how technically something was retrieved or like the methods that we use and this and that. And obviously there's limits to how far you'll go to get something. But usually like the further you'll go, the more real what you're gonna get is. Like
it reminds me of
because this was real. This is how she really felt.
Whenever something would come out about Trump people would be like, "Oh, they got this from this. Like that shouldn't come out." But like when
they're tapping my phones, guys.
The whistleblower is. They're like, "Oh no, say it. Like if it's the truth, like then we just need to find it out." Like so. Whenever someone doesn't like how the method or doesn't like the message,
it's a double standard.
They'll be like, "Oh, that's the wrong way to get it." But if they like it, they don't give a fuck how you get it.
I want to interrupt this conversation real quick to say that Jay Crowder should never dribble behind his back and shoot a three ever again. Continue.
Jay has some shaky 3-point games. Let's lock into the second half. We'll talk about Nichols a little more as we go along, but oh man, I just saw it, Nate.
and Jay Crowder should never shoot a Dirk. When you see it, you'll know what I mean.
Hold on,
that was what Giannis can't do anything but foul.
Giannis has himself a 3. Really good game from Giannis. Again, he's been outstanding in these playoffs. He's already pushing a double-double to start the third.
Isn't that right, Nate?
What's that, Linda?
I said, isn't that right, Nate?
What?
He's having an outstanding game.
I mean, he's scoring 30 showing up, Nate. These playoffs.
Fine. That's not a foul.
Not a good transition run for the Suns.
That's not a foul. I'm really tired of Chris Paul. That's not a foul. You threw your legs at him, and he was on the floor. That should not be a foul.
You have no problem with your own baiters doing that. Why is it a problem when Chris Paul does it?
Because it's not. Because when James, I assume you're talking about James Harden. When James Harden does it,
yeah.
It's still a natural shooting motion, and you could see, like, you could tell the difference between a natural shooting motion and you just doing it just to do it.
That camera's incredible.
If he's just baiting and it's a shooting motion.
No, there's no problem with that. But Trey, if you're jumping to the right and trying to shoot a 3-point or shooting motion, you shouldn't be rewarded for that.
Okay.
Speaking of that, Nate, Brook Lopez. Ooh. Is Paul hurt? I mean, that's why that's a foul, Nate.
Isn't it funny that Brook Lopez sounds like that?
What do
I've
you
been
mean?
following Brooke for a long time.
His voice is hilarious.
That's a reckless closeout.
I heard him.
I think it's a foul.
I heard him before the game. He was like, "If there's a super near shot, then I'll definitely have to hit that."
Isn't he from Stanford? Doesn't he go to Stanford?
I think he did, yes.
Not surprised.
Him and his brother love Disney.
And now they're playing.
They must have been.
They're playing the Kawhi footage and trying to equate it to what just happened to Chris Paul, and it's like,
Well, that's why the rule exists, and it looks like he's banged up.
do you
Bobby,
need to do that?
a guy I knew when
He
I
didn't
was
do
younger.
that when Giannis was in the paint pushing Kyrie.
Oh, the way Zaza did it, still looking back on it, was so bad.
Bobby, a guy I knew when I was younger would always mention that there was some like Nets video that was going on like years back, and it was Gerald Wallace basically describing like, yeah, man, like I didn't have a home, like we would just play at the court all day, and then I would sleep there at the court. Like it was rough growing up, and I think he's from like Miami or something. Like it was rough growing up like that.
No, it's from Alabama.
Oh, Alabama. And then he goes, the next person was Brooke Lopez, and he's like, yeah, and if you look over here, this is my favorite comic book store.
Him and his brother love Disney. They were more pumped than anyone that they were doing the bubble there. I think they bought a house.
Disney adults are just the weirdest fucking people ever. So weird.
Ooh, nice little dish from Aiden. Let's see it, Booker.
Why are you shooting that?
This is really close to becoming a blowout, by the way. This is my biggest worry with the Bucks.
That's a bad pass, though.
The Bucks are a much less efficient team than the Suns. To me, the Suns are
Giannis on the floor.
It's game one.
Well, no, I said this even coming in, Linda. The Suns are brutally efficient, and this is the Suns with Crowder shooting 0 for 6.
Is that a Boston area thing? They're brutally efficient. Sort of like Wicked.
Yeah, it's interchangeable with Wicked.
Bro, they're wicked efficient.
Do you think Drew Holiday and Giannis can play together?
Huh?
Do you think
defensively,
Drew Holiday and Giannis can play together?
They're in the finals. What are you guys on with this Bucks thing? They're in the finals.
Drew Holiday only has 4 points and shooting 2 of 8. And in the last 2 games without Giannis, he was playing really, really good.
No, they're not a very efficient bunch. Even Chris Middleton, he'll be taking a ton of shots to get what he needs to do done.
That team's in the finals.
Yes, but they're there off defense, Linda.
And injuries.
No, not so much that.
Yes.
I mean, they made it there without Giannis for a couple games.
Yeah.
If Kyrie was still healthy throughout that series,
Nate's so bummed about the stupid Nets series. Here's the biggest problem.
Injuries are part of the game. Every team dealt with
everyone, and that was part of how they constructed the Nets. Their team was put together thinking, "Oh, geez, we got to be healthy for this to work," and they weren't.
No, I mean, I guess, but at the same time, Kyrie getting injured on some freakish play doesn't necessarily help.
Here's the thing, too. They lined themselves up against the Bucks because they didn't play good enough defense all year, so they weren't the 1 seed.
I mean, they would have played good defense if played good defense in the playoffs if everyone was healthy.
No, I'm talking the regular season because that's how they ended up with the 2 seed, and that's how they ended up playing the Bucks.
We take the Cavs as a 4 seed to the finals. Like, seeding doesn't really matter when you're that good.
I'm sorry. Did you mention a LeBron level player to have done that this year?
That was a different East. Was LeBron playing Giannis and his MVP form back then?
It's Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie Irving. I don't care who you are. You're not beating them healthy.
Yeah, but they weren't going to slide by even if they were healthy.
Yes, they were.
That's just a what if, though.
It is a what if.
To me,
but on paper, if you have KD, Kyrie, and James Harden healthy against Giannis in the series, you're insane.
And on paper, if you have healthy LeBron and AD, see why that's pointless? They lost because they weren't healthy.
So if you look at Hawks Nets, I think Durant could get through that.
Yeah, you're right.
So that's why you want to be the 1 seed.
No.
I said coming into these playoffs. it was a big deal that they didn't get the 1 seed.
Nah, it wasn't.
They weren't in a position to catch a break.
Anyway. And
yeah, later. Maybe Kyrie
like,
gets back. Maybe Harden's feeling better at that point.
I guess, but at the same time, it didn't necessarily I didn't necessarily like how the officiating changed from game 3 on. I thought that was something that was huge too.
That's just Giannis. Giannis is gonna get those free throws.
Yeah, but KD should do. I have no problem with Giannis getting those free throws. But if KD doesn't, when KD's arguably the best player in the world, and he doesn't get those calls that he's supposed to get, it's kind of weird.
We can talk about the Nets going into next year because I don't know. Do you think they'll win a title?
Yes.
I don't know.
It's James Harden, KD, and Kyrie. I don't know. I don't understand where
They'll always be health concerns with that group.
No, I mean, KD proved that he could be healthy this year for the most part, except for a freak injury. Kyrie did the same, and this is the first time James Harden has been injured in a playoff
Was Durant
series,
healthy?
probably ever. Yes, he was.
He was out for a while during the year. Oh yeah.
When he came back, he ain't have no problem though.
Yeah, it's only going to get harder for him though, I think. As he starts to age more, he's a couple more years removed from Achilles tear. Harden, I don't know what Harden's dedication is to shape.
James Harden has been arguably the most in the league since he got to Houston. This is the first time he really had something on the level of a season-ending injury, and he still came back and played.
Started flaring up a couple times.
And he still came back and played. And you also got to think, and you also believe next year is more of a regular NBA season, and they get the proper amount of rest that they deserve.
That will help them. I'll give you that. All right, what do we got here? Middleton. Some frantic offense. They're playing Tucker. Good finish. I think the Bucks have played a good defensive game tonight. They just haven't been as efficient on offense as they need to be.
Good shot, Brook Lopez.
Oh man, Campaign's been incredible.
Good pass. There you go.
Bridges,
the Bucks just aren't hustling for the ball the same way.
The only guy the Suns are missing right now is Crowder. Crowder's having one of those games.
It doesn't matter when everyone else is playing well, though.
That was a nice. Yo, why do they love these fucking random white dudes with the long blonde hair? It's like the third conversation.
I thought that's Phoenix.
Bless you.
PJ Tucker, you got to give some effort, bro.
Oh, wow. Ayton almost put Giannis on a poster.
That was effort, Lindo. Come on. He's a smaller guy. You know what's so underrated? Someone said this earlier. Dante DiVincenzo. That's who they really could use in this series. Shooter, versatile, can stay with those wings on Phoenix.
He's all right.
Like, Tucker was great for the Brooklyn series. You need to stay with a Durant type. Really make it tough physical on him because he's the center of attention. I thought that was a good thing. I don't know. Tucker, to me, he's not doing a ton on an off-ball defense.
I think the reason why the Suns are so tough is because they play a very good brand of team ball. Like, there isn't really individual matchup necessarily. You could, if you shuts down the team.
Yeah, and that makes Tucker a little less useful. Unless they use him at the 5 or 4, whatever that would be with Giannis.
Good shot. Brook Lopez.
Here's the other thing. I mean,
in the NBA is not something I had on my bingo card.
I know, and everything.
17.
Honestly,
yes, 17.
everything I think of here, even with Giannis
Wow.
back, I just can't see the Bucks winning this series. This looks like
They just called an offensive
2019
foul on
Lopez.
Devin Booker.
I think we lost Lindo.
That's a natural shooting motion, but that's what happens when you play with Chris Paul. You don't get those calls because they trust you.
Windows A, good view. You put in a webcam or something?
What'd you say?
You put on a webcam or something?
I went desktop.
Oh, sweet. Looking good.
There you go.
Great defense, Holiday.
16 and 13 for Ayton.
Those Lopez threes were huge, Nate.
That's the reason why the Bucks are
13
able to
rebounds
play
for
how they
Ayton.
do.
Should we announce my Ayton? We need Ayton. I got the big money on Ayton for Finals MVP, and here he is, 16-13 in Game 1.
I feel like they're going to give it to Booker.
Booker for his 40% game.
Yeah.
He's 4-12. He's not
What
even
did
40%.
Iguodala have versus the fucking Cavs?
He slowed
He got that for
LeBron.
defense. That's off his leg.
I need Ayton. The way Ayton's gonna get it is for defense too.
You
He
know,
can do whatever he wants on offense, but if he can slow Giannis at all, which unfortunately doesn't look like he's gonna get a chance to, that would be what would get him MVP.
if you took these two teams and you asked me which team was the veteran team, I'd say the Suns.
Yeah, but what's that mean?
Bucks are playing scared.
I'm just talking about who's gonna win MVP.
No, I'm just saying that was a different point.
Accept the challenge and
Ball off the Bucks. I still
Playing
I
scared.
asked Lindo a similar question to open this broadcast. But did you guys think the Lakers were going to beat the Suns?
Yes.
Yes.
I did not think that was a certainty at all. I couldn't believe this. The Lakers were like minus 500 favorites as the 7th seed.
I thought LeBron was much
know-
more
you
healthier
know-
than he was.
Do you know why the Lakers were the 7th seed? Do you know that? Did you watch this season? Do you know why?
Many different reasons.
Lopez left open. Lopez not that time.
No, I thought LeBron was much more healthier than he was, and I thought that AD would get healthier.
But we
with the
watched the
playoffs on.
play-in game. Remember how he looked in the play-in game?
Beautifully gets open jumper.
I know, but they looked awful. When I saw that game, I said the Lakers aren't going anywhere.
It's so easy to say that now that the series is over.
Yeah, I wasn't necessarily sure the Suns were going to win, but I wasn't saying the Lakers are going to blow this team away, the 2 seed. I mean, people understated how good the Suns were.
I mean, they're a good, talented team. Well, what we've seen time in and time out is that young, talented teams often lose their first time around in the playoffs.
As the 2 seed,
I don't know anyone who's better at predicting score lines than Bobby after they happen. I mean, he's spot on after the game's over.
I'm just
You
saying,
better be.
I did not think the Lakers were a lock to win that series. That's all I'm saying.
Look how he just already took a step back, Nate. Again, he didn't think it was going to happen. Now he didn't think they were going to blow them out. Soon he's going to say, you know what? I think the Lakers were going to win the series. He's gonna flip all the way over.
No, I've been saying the same thing all along. I did not think that the Lakers were heavy, heavy favorites in that series.
Look at the qualifications.
But I was looking at the predictions. It was like the Lakers were the 2 seed.
Bobby's qualifications are like when you're trying to write a 500-word essay and you only have 100
Seriously.
words.
Argentina
And
won't have
anything.
more qualifying games than Bobby will this year.
Suns in 5, says this guy.
Suns in 5. That would be terrible for Giannis.
I had Suns in 6.
I
Why
didn't
would
even
it be bad for
I didn't think
Giannis, who's doped up on painkillers right now?
You might see Giannis.
That Giannis post-game interview, I mean, he has an accent. He's not even speak English.
You might see Giannis push this series 7 games.
That
'Cause
shit
I
is
think-
so funny when people like are questionable before games. You know what that means? The trainers are like, how many fucking Oxycontins can we feed this guy?
it wasn't even questionable. It wasn't even questionable. It was doubtful.
He was doubtful to start the morning. And
But
according to
if they would have
Lindo,
said questionable, I probably would have been like, he's playing. Once I heard
According
doubtful, I
to-
was like, there's no way.
according to Lindo, the Bucks made a big push today to get him ready.
My sources have told me.
Now we want to be the first to give everyone the joy.
That's what my sources are saying.
5G phone.
Lindo, you gotta turn down your TV.
Just trade in your old one.
You're watching Kate McKinnon.
We're calling it the biggest upgrade ever because it is.
Unfortunately, my like TV doesn't have it's a smart TV, but it doesn't have ESPN on it. So I gotta watch via my computer onto the screen.
We get some
Doesn't sound very
dedicated
smart,
viewers. 2 on Twitter, 1 on YouTube, and a couple on Twitch. If you're watching, please make sure you subscribe to the Bobby Manning YouTube. I think we'll be doing these every single game of the finals. So
You know
you'll
who-
get alerted.
You know who's a real Suns fan?
Who's that? Nobody from
Randy Fowler.
how?
Who?
I have no idea, but when they were terrible back at Syracuse, like think like 2016, 17, when they were terrible, she was genuinely like supporting the team.
So
Oh, you said Brandy. I heard Randy.
Nate dropped that Torrey Craig tidbit. Did I hear that Dragon Bender was playing for the Suns this year still?
No, he's
No.
been long
He's
gone.
been out.
No, he was on the Bucks last year.
That's probably
years.
why they got Frank Kaminsky.
2 years ago, he was still on the Suns.
Just swap him out.
Remember when they were saying he was the new Kristaps and Porzingis wasn't even the Porzingis anymore?
In hindsight, he was. If Porzingis is playing like that.
That's true. Oh my God, Colombia, Argentina's 1-1. I'm switching games, guys.
What? You can't be on the stream watching Colombia.
Okay, I won't.
What tournament is that?
Copa America, it's the semifinals.
Are these part of Olympic qualifying?
No, the Olympics are going on like as these go on.
Oh,
But
really?
Olympic teams, everyone has to be under 22, and then you can add like 2 players over 22, I think.
Oh, so the Olympic teams are really shaky for soccer, huh?
Yeah, like when Brazil won in 2016, it was
Oh, Paul, what a dagger! I think that's game.
oh my God.
It's the third quarter.
I know, but it's a
there's literally
16-point
15 minutes of
game.
time left.
What are the Bucks gonna do?
When they won in 2016, it was all young guys and Neymar.
Oh, all right, Chris Middleton. All right.
Oh, Paul, going for it again. I think Chris Paul is in the lead for that MVP window.
Yeah. As opposed to who? Like, yeah.
Aiton. Nice run stopper from Middleton.
Chris Paul just hit another one. It's still going.
Argentina vive su mejor momento en todo el
Oh,
torneo.
that's mad loud. Zay trying to blow out my fucking eardrum.
Hey, look.
That's a foul.
Paul. Oh! Chris Paul is 10 of 15 with 27. 6 assists. Just a flawless game from the greatest, or one of the greatest ever.
What, Bobby?
The greatest.
One of the greatest point guards ever.
Mm.
He's one of the
Greatest.
greatest active players as a point guard.
No, he's one of the greatest point guards ever.
Top 5.
No, he's not top 5.
He's up there with Magic. He's up there with
No, he's not up there with Magic.
in the top 5.
He's not up there with Magic. Magic is number 1. That's
No, I'm saying
up
in the
there.
top 5.
And he's not. I know he could be top 5 and not up there with Magic.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Nate, where is Steph on your list?
Steph is 2.
Of point guard, Steph is not the second best point guard of all time. He doesn't even play point guard.
What? He's the greatest shooter ever.
Okay, he doesn't play point guard.
Yes, he does. The ball's
doesn't.
always in his hand.
No, it's
He's
not. It's
always
in Dre's
making
hands.
plays.
It's in Dre's hands. What are you talking about?
Yeah, sometimes.
No, most of the time.
Was Kyrie not the point guard in the Celtics?
I wouldn't say so. Kyrie is a shooting guard in my eyes because of the way he plays.
What? So everybody who shoot first point guard is a
No,
shooting guard?
you just have to be able to get your teammates open in a way where that Kyrie
Steph
doesn't.
absolutely does that.
No, he doesn't really do that.
You wouldn't be the best player on a title team if you weren't doing that.
Yes, you would. And I could argue that he wasn't for 2 years.
I can't think of another best player on a title team who
Was he
wasn't
even the
making
best
plays for their teammates.
For 2 of those rings, was he even the best player?
Maybe not, but Durant was doing those things.
That's why Durant's a top 15 player ever.
He's a top 5 scorer ever.
He might be number 1.
And naturally, those level scorers are creating opportunities.
But it's one thing to create them, but it's another thing to actually execute them. Steph Curry creates opportunities for other players, but he doesn't really execute them in a way. He usually shoots.
True, but most great
doesn't-
scorers are doing that.
But it doesn't really matter if you're not executing.
You could say the same thing about Durant.
I will say the same thing about Durant. He doesn't control the game in the same way. That's why Harden is so important to that team. Durant could have
What do you
40
think,
and
Lindo?
lose. Durant could have
I know-
40 and lose.
I know Lindo thinks Curry's number 2.
Yes.
That's a point guard?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Because he's
Ask anyone, they're going to tell you he's the point guard.
He's not, but I'm saying when you look at how he plays, he's not.
They play with 2 2s.
Yes.
Durant's not a point guard, so I guess they just didn't have a point guard.
No, Draymond is the one who executes the offense.
He was occasionally doing it. He wasn't
No.
bringing the ball up doing stuff every
How is
time
he occasionally doing it when he's leading the team in assists?
because he's a great passer.
So then he's not occasionally doing it.
If you look at the assist,
If the game plan is literally give Draymond the ball, let Steph run around a bunch of screens and catch and shoot.
I'm gonna look at
something.
I'm gonna look at the assist percentage leader on the 2015 Warriors.
I'm sure Dre was leading that too.
Assist percentage?
I'm talking about assists per game.
I know, but that's just a counting stat.
That's what matters.
Okay.
Curry led in assists, doubling up Green.
Which year? 2015?
Yeah.
All right.
And assist percentage. Steph Curry was 38%, Green 16%.
That's one.
I think he probably led the
How, like, whatever.
he probably led the 17 team in assist percentage too.
He probably led the 16 team too.
Curry 31, Durant 23. He's just flat out the point guard.
Is Chris Paul out of contract this year?
Yes, he's
Oh.
a free agent.
Oh, is he?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I feel like gave him 4 years.
Yeah, the
I
Rockets
assume
did.
he has one more.
It's a player option,
Oh, okay.
and you would assume he'll opt out after
Mm.
being Finals MVP.
And then get another max. Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
Is his home in Phoenix, or will he go to New York?
The Knicks.
and
If he
deliver.
loses, if Chris Paul goes to the Knicks, I'll be a Chris Paul guy.
He could deliver the Knicks a title and become known as one of the greats.
Wait, on the 2015,
Oh.
2016, on the 2015, 2016 Wars, Draymond Green led the team.
Assists per game.
A
And how'd they do
7.4
that?
to 6.7.
How'd
won a
they do that
championship.
season?
Oh wait, 2016.
2016?
Oh no, they didn't.
No, they
They didn't.
That is interesting. That's a good point.
They lost to the alleged GOAT.
I
Someone
mean,
else's GOAT. not me.
they lost because Draymond was out game 5.
Curry still led that
That's
team
a
in
lot.
assist percentage, though.
He led them in assists per what?
Percentage.
Look,
honestly, I don't even know what that means.
dude,
Like, I
come
don't
on.
really know what how that matters.
That just means when
Remember
they're
Bobby was hitting the chat with what was that? Like AP? What was it? Bobby was
don't-
making up stats. There were statistical categories that were created on the spot.
Whenever he gets into his Rudy Gobert is one of the best players in the league bag, I just tune him out.
Whatever determines he's good is not valid in my book.
You have to go to advanced stats to tell me why
It's
someone's good. It's not
illegitimate.
valid.
Whatever shows he's the best. What's that thing like? Wins per game, whatever that shit is. No.
win shares.
Whatever people. No, I think that's
Draymond led the league. Draymond led the team in
Whatever
assists from 16 on.
whatever stat that's like if you have like 30, you're like the best player in the league. That stat. If Gobert's good at that, that's not a real stat.
You can't. There needs to be a rule that you can't win Defensive Player of the Year being a help defender. You have to actually guard people.
Here we are talking about Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, because he sucks. Right.
Window, he led the 1 seed. Are you not allowed
No, he
to
didn't.
get accomplishments in the regular season anymore?
He didn't win the 1 seed. He didn't lead the 1 seed. Donovan Mitchell did.
You must just love LeBron, huh? He must be your favorite player ever.
I like LeBron a lot.
The stat shit, and then just leading. Oh my God! Hold on.
I can't believe
LeBron-
that
LeBron hasn't been an MVP in a long time.
he should have been last year.
No. Giannis was
Yes, he could've.
unequivocally, especially now that we're
No,
looking
he
back
wasn't.
on it, the MVP.
I was
Especially
Giannis
now.
Yeah, we're seeing that you don't have to feel bad about Giannis in the playoffs.
The
That was
only
your
reason why
whole
they won was
argument.
because of injuries.
You and Nick Wright
He
were
didn't prove
like,
anything to me. He genuinely didn't prove anything to me.
with 30 points a
The best
game,
team that- No, okay.
brutal consistency,
You
and
said what'd you say? You cut out.
just a sheer will to win every
What?
single game.
Everyone has that.
But he's executing on it.
Everyone has that. It's the play. Against
You were there. You
bad
saw Game
Blue
7.
team.
You saw what he did in Game 7, one of the greatest wins we've ever seen. And
All right, if you say so. I saw him turn the ball over in one of those games too on the last second pass.
you shouldn't be leaning on that argument. You should be leaning on the Hawks series because they got by without him.
No, I can lean on that argument too.
LOL.
That's someone I'd be talking about.
He lost by 50 in a playoff game. And then the NBA the NBA was like, no, we can't have that. And that's why they won. Like,
That is not what we watched play out.
yes, it is.
They were
explains
down
the
3-2, by the way.
difference. Explains the game 2 officiating and game 3 officiating.
I will say they've been unremarkable tonight. That was a terrible play by Giannis. I think we got a wrap here, Linda, don't you? Do you see any chance of a Bucks comeback?
Is Nate not consulted in that? Nate got no opinion on the subject. Sorry, Nate. Nate, if I say it's over, it's over. That's it. I mean, it's not that bad.
It's pretty bad.
13
They
points
just scored. They're
with a full
down by
quarter
13.
I haven't seen them draw it close really all night in my mind.
If you're
It's
If you're
13 points with a
pulling the
full.
plug right now, then I don't. This is a sweep. This is a sweep if you're pulling the plug right
This
now.
is not going to be a sweep. It's going to be a completely different series in Milwaukee.
They're
but
down.
for
They're
now-
down by 13. Milwaukee isn't known for
Ooh.
having the best home court advantage either.
They're one of
People
the
don't.
best.
People don't dread going back to Milwaukee.
The Deer District?
You're the deer.
That's outside.
You
That's
hear it.
outside. I feel like Joe can know on a Cleveland rant.
You know it's there.
Ain't nobody.
What did he say?
All right.
We went on vacation in Cleveland.
The funniest part is where he looks around. He's like, "Do you like it? Do you think Cleveland's cool?"
That is great help
That was
side
funny.
defense by Cam Johnson.
Yeah. And Bosch just looking confused as fuck, trying to direct traffic.
Joe knows has some good moments.
Yeah, like
Cam,
him
Cam
buying
Johnson has too.
on the Atlantic City boardwalk.
What'd you say?
Joakim Noah buying a bong on the Atlantic City boardwalk. For tobacco purposes only, of course.
He became fourth in MVP voting 1 year
Campaign.
and deserved it.
I forgot you're a Bulls guy for fake. You don't think it's unfair that you try and claim New York and Chicago? You
I
don't
was
think
born in
that's too much?
Chicago.
I
I was
know.
born in Chicago. I have family in Chicago.
That doesn't mean you get to. I was born in Richmond. I don't get to really claim it. I have family in
I mean,
Richmond.
who's trying to claim Richmond?
Me.
What? Some
My
people
parents-
could be.
My parents
So then do
always
it.
tell me,
So then do it.
"You're not from."
Usually, Lindo, Virginia people claim the whole state,
True.
Do it. Anyway,
which is kind of weird because Virginia is huge.
I know, but
Really?
Richmond is so far from like Virginia Beach and stuff, and then North Virginia, like
North Virginia is a great
You
place.
you gotta get Pharrell and Timbaland and Missy and Chris Brown. You gotta get all of them.
The thing about North Virginia is it's pretty much just DC.
I don't get what that means.
Like, is it Virginia or is it DC?
It's Virginia.
Technically, but it's more like DC than Virginia.
Why? So you liberals can rig every election? Not the count.
You mean make it fair?
That's the craziest thing about that because it's true, but people have been talking about that since like forever.
Can you? In my opinion,
That's not a new movement.
those 500,000 black people don't deserve a vote. Stop the count.
The funniest part about that whole movement was when simultaneously in two different you had one state at the
You're
other
saying
state
one
saying stop
state,
the
you count it.
Seriously.
That was
But
hilarious.
there's more people in DC than there is in like Wyoming.
Yeah.
Completely unbiased opinion, though. Completely unbiased. Trump's our best president.
I knew he was about to say some wild
And look,
shit.
And look, that's me being unbiased.
I
I'm
could
just saying.
honestly sniff out Isaiah troll from a mile away at this point.
That's not a troll. I know Isaiah.
I'm just saying, unbiased. You know, like that's not even my opinion. It's just like a fact. Like
This is why I said earlier, Nate, that it was a upset that Lindo and I became friends.
You sound like you're about to shoot your shot at Candace Owens, Isaiah.
she, you know where she's from, right? She's from the town next to mine.
Oh, is she?
She grew up in
Oh,
Stanford.
go ahead.
I grew up in-
Oh, go ahead, do that, bro.
Go ahead.
I'm
No,
sure if you talk about
White
I'm
man.
sure if you talk about how much you don't like rap music, you'll be guaranteed a date.
Linda doesn't like rap.
No, not at all. Why would I like that disgusting ghetto music?
What's on his wall? Stevie Wonder. Who else?
How many Stevies are up there?
I see 2.
Okay.
What else?
How many Rick James are up there?
Yeah, there's no rap up there. For some reason,
5,
I'm behind,
6,
and I'm behind on
7,
everything.
8, 9, 10. She shot it on time, I guess.
You speed it up for you, Nate. I
mean,
said
he
this
still
in
had
the
the ball in
crowd
his
that
hand
night.
at 10.
I said
only
this
has
in the
14.
crowd that night when we were at Game 7. Who taught him to do this? This is not a good routine.
He has to manifest the ball dunking on before he actually does it in real life. It's working in my opinion.
I think they're timing offensive rebounds. I think that's what they're doing. Because they get a ton off his misses.
Define a ton.
Yeah, I have to pay more
Probably a
attention to that.
significant percentage.
I've seen it happen. I'd probably believe you if you told me that they get more than most teams, but I don't know if a ton is the right word to use.
For real.
Well, that's what I would mean by a ton.
Like, what's a ton? Like two per game? So
That would be
more
pretty
than
good.
campaign. It is. It would be.
Especially if you're scoring off those. That they had a huge one down the stretch of that Game 7, remember?
Yeah.
It was like a Brook tip out or something.
Brook
Good
Lopez
finish
is
by Holiday.
also quietly one of the best rebounders in the game.
Well, you guys were right. This is a 9-point game.
Look, I don't know why you're so ready to give up on that.
Yeah.
I just don't like the way they're playing.
Giannis is your guy, though.
They're hitting a lot of threes, though. That is
Who's your
something
favorite
that's
player?
going for them. All time,
No, right now.
Jaylen Brown.
Really? That's interesting.
I think the sky's the limit for him.
I thought you were
I can't.
I thought you saying Jason Tatum was more likely than you saying Jaylen Brown.
No, I'm not crazy about Tatum. I respect his game a ton.
God, man.
But it doesn't do it for me the same way Brown's does. Brown's got explosion, incredible finishing ability, and just that intensity and emotion to his game that Tatum's just kind of too cool for school.
The hubris of Boston fans. He's
too cool for school. Too cool for
I
school.
can't fathom. You guys should hear the media out here, and even nationally, you probably do hear it. How many people are trying to trade Brown?
What is Gelso?
Try to trade everybody.
Joso's with me. He doesn't want to trade him.
Okay.
We're one of the few.
You should have traded Brown for Harden.
That might be fair, but that's in the past. Now we're talking
In
Cat.
the moment I was trying to tell you, and you were telling me no.
Because he was wearing the fat suit. What if he did that in Boston too?
He dropped 41.
Yeah,
and led the team to a victory.
But it was a real concern, and it played out with those injuries.
What's the thing with that? Like, what was that?
They said a heating pad.
Yeah, I don't necessarily know.
Who puts a heating pad on their stomach?
James Harden. He's trying to get traded. He's the most, out of all the players I've heard declare that they want to trade, he was the most dedicated to getting traded.
I'll tell you this.
By
I did
far.
not like those blue jerseys that they were wearing. I couldn't watch him for much more in those.
I like them.
It didn't look great.
It's
like the Bucks.
After.
It's like the Bucks wearing blue. Why are the Bucks wearing blue?
Yeah, I don't understand that. The Bucks have had some bad jerseys.
It's like the Lakers wearing red. You know this, Nate. Sometimes the Bulls would wear green, I used to hate that.
That was for St. Patrick's Day, though.
I know, but why?
Because
They would be playing
St.
the
Patrick-
Celtics wearing green, and you'd be
St.
like, what?
Patrick's Day is a huge thing in Chicago, though. They dye their river green and stuff. Like, it's a
Oh,
huge
really?
thing. Yeah.
All right, I didn't
Every
know
year,
that.
never fails.
Irish Mafia, god damn.
Is Chicago an Irish city?
Gotta be.
I'd say so.
Every big city's an Irish city. U.S. has more Irish people than Ireland.
Fair enough. I think Lindo wishes he was Irish.
Not at all.
Oh. What's your last name? Why can't I think of it?
Gomez.
Oh, Nins. There we go.
It's like, go back.
You'd be a perfect fit. All right, what are we talking about in this timeout?
This penalty shootout, Colombia, Argentina.
Is that the semifinals?
Yep. This is for a place in the final. This is for Messi's legacy.
Who's on the other side?
Colombia.
Didn't someone
Is
get
this-
some crazy ass contract for like 4 years, 600 million?
No,
or
who's on
something?
the other side of the bracket?
Oh, Brazil. Brazil.
Brazil's not losing.
Don't say that.
Do you not
No.
like Brazil?
Who are the 12 Olympic teams? Do you know them off the top of your head?
Absolutely fucking not.
Come on. This is not a football expert I'm talking to right now.
Most people probably don't even fucking watch the Olympics. Like, it's
Why
literally
not?
I already told you, because most of the best players of the countries don't play.
What's better, Olympic basketball or Olympic football?
Do you
Basketball.
even listen when I speak? Did you
Well-
just ask me a question to not even answer?
Olympic
trying to see some-
Olympic
I'm trying to see some
basketball is
cool
not
dunks.
that good.
Because the
some cool
U.S. is
dunks, right?
amazing.
Yeah, so the football tournament's probably better.
I just want to see some cool dunks.
I can't believe that's what we're back to. After that tournament a couple of years ago, the U.S. was legitimately terrible. Which was not good considering it was mostly Celtics.
I can't believe there was a graphic that said Grant Williams was going to make the Olympic team.
Oh my god, that was that
That's
same
dumb.
stupid account. That account needs to be banned off Twitter.
That was funny.
Middleton, this is a huge possession. Oh, he got it stolen. They gonna call a foul? What's the call, Nate? Foul on Paul?
You'll see.
Looked like a steal to me. Clean
There you go,
steal.
Chris Paul.
That's a foul on Middleton. There we go. Paul has been
They're only down
sensational.
12. And now Chris Middleton's starting to take over a little. Someone
To-
has to.
Not to Chris Paul level.
That's true.
Can you believe Chris Paul is doing this at his stage in his career?
Yes.
Yeah.
He is so far beyond
Oh
his
my
prime.
god. Colombia lost on penalties. Someone's gonna die tonight.
I was going to tweet this earlier, Zay. Why are they playing so much football at these penalty shootout tournaments?
They really don't care about the players.
They should just go right to a penalty shootout. Right
Oh,
when they
yeah,
arrive.
12. They got these 4K cameras on the fans now. Looks pretty
I
fucking
know,
good,
isn't
though.
it crazy?
Looks fucking good.
They always pointed at Booker. He must have paid them to get some extra shots.
Does
Johnson.
Booker have any endorsement deals? Like, is he in any commercials or anything?
I'd imagine so.
I can't say that I remember what his voice sounds like.
I think he's going to be a face of Team USA this year. If it doesn't go 7 games, because he's
Isn't-
probably going to have to opt
isn't-
out.
Isn't KD on the team?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, KD's gonna be the face. Got Jason
If
Tatum.
this series goes 7 games, first of all, I don't even know if Greek's in the Olympics or Greece. I think they are, but I'm not certain. And on top of that, I can't
Sounds
see Devin Booker playing in
like if
the.
this game goes 7, is gonna have a chance.
He could. Devin Booker endorsements.
That's interesting.
He's a Nike athlete.
No, I know that. I just mean like commercials.
Might not have any. Endorsements, Finish Line, Foot Locker, Nike.
Mm.
His expenditures, mansions, cars, watch, charity.
Where are you reading this from?
I don't know. That's an expensive watch. It's right up there with mansions. Oh, man. This has been fun, guys. Hopefully we'll get more people up in here next time.
People really eat Burger King.
We'll do some of these chats throughout the off season too. I think we should do a weekly Zoom with everybody. Because listen, you're talking all that nonsense in the chat. You gotta bring it on camera.
We are talking nonsense. We are talking nonsense.
Have you listened to Nate tonight?
Wait. We are talking nonsense? Is that what you said?
Terminate us. You see how he tried to terminate us with
Who's
his shit?
I think Lindo's fair and balanced. Nate,
You are specifically the least balanced person in the chat. You are exclusively hot takes. Exclusively.
Exclusively?
Exclusively.
What about news?
That's the only thing that you send with no spin. Look, for those listening, you don't understand because you think of Bobby Manning, the journalist. Bobby Manning in the group chat is all hot takes, is all the worst opinions you've ever read in your life. Trolls.
Can you give one as an example?
I
Huh?
don't think Bobby trolls. I think he genuinely means everything he says.
What's an example?
Rudy Gobert is his MVP.
There was a real case.
By you!
I think he genuinely. I don't think it's a troll. I don't think it's a troll though. I think he genuinely means what he says.
If you're Defensive Player of the Year, you're effectively in the MVP conversation.
No, you're not.
No, you're not. But if
No,
that was
you're not.
really your pick, then Bobby, you're a crackhead.
Wouldn't the Offensive Player of the Year be in the
I-
MVP conversation?
There is no offensive player of the year. But
If there
offense
was-
is way more important than defense, especially now.
We just had this conversation. The two finals teams are the two best defensive teams.
Okay, but they also have Devin Booker and your pick between Giannis, Drew Holiday, and Chris Middleton, and Brook Lopez. They had a game where 4 of them had 20 points. Offense is more important.
Yeah, you obviously have to put the ball in the net, but I think defense is much more sustainable game in, game out. And that's the only way the Bucks are going to be able to stay in this series, because I think offensively they're a little overmatched.
Good offense versus good defense. Good offense wins 9 times out of 10.
This series
That's all
will
I'm
tell
saying.
us a lot. Although the Suns were a better defense during the year. It's probably underrated. DeAndre Ayton's been incredible tonight. I don't think he'll get MVP
Yeah.
looks.
Chris Paul just baited Giannis.
His timing has been impeccable in
Just
these
baited
playoffs.
him.
And there's some good defense on Middleton, the possession before. He's just in full control of the game.
You're
ask
you're too good to be doing that. Stuff like that is like you're too good to be doing the other stuff.
Nate, I'll ask you this. Why aren't there more Chris Pauls?
Why aren't there more Chris Pauls? I feel like you have to be more specific for me to give you an answer.
Is there any player out there that's like him?
That's like him in what way? In terms of being a good point guard?
Just the level of a point guard he is, along with some good scoring punch and great defense.
I mean, he's
the
probably
complete package at the
He's
position.
probably the only true point guard we really have left.
That's what I mean. Why aren't there
but-
more great true point guards left?
Because you need to score at guard now.
He scores.
Yeah, but he can win a game giving you 10, 4, and 10.
Probably not this game.
Yeah, probably not this game. And even this game, he scores. He's a very efficient guard, and he's probably one of the most efficient players.
Yes,
we've
but
seen.
why isn't there another one? We've seen a lot of great players come in the league since he's been in there, but none of them are like him.
I mean, I'd even argue that James Harden can play the same way as Chris Paul, if I'm being honest with you. When you talk about
Defensively, he doesn't have the defensive desire that Paul does.
not on the perimeter, but on in the paint.
I will give you Harden's probably maybe as close as you could get, but he's so reckless. He'll have like 8 turnovers.
Yeah, he tries things too much.
Lindo, what's your take on it?
On what?
No, but
Why
Chris
isn't
Paul is definitely one of the best point guards we've ever seen.
If I this summer said we need to go get a Chris Paul type, I can't even think of anybody that's in that conversation. You know who's the closest guy I came up with?
Who?
Kyle Lowry.
What?
Mm,
And he's like not even close to that level of impact.
I mean, Kyle Lowry. The thing is that I think on the Suns here, Chris Paul doesn't. Honestly, I think that they're closer than you think.
Yeah, he's the only guy I can think of
both
that's in that
players-
conversation.
But because in order to be successful, be the best player on the team.
Yeah.
Put Kyle Lowry on the Suns and you take over Chris Paul, I'm pretty sure they still make the playoffs and they still get to the second round or so.
Yeah. If he stays healthy.
But I can say the same thing
Kyle
about Chris
Lowry's
Paul
a free agent. Are the Lakers
He's
going to
gonna get
pursue
him.
him, Zay?
He's going to get a max contract.
It costs $30 million. How do they even do that?
Trade
He's going to get a
Schroeder.
max contract. There's so many teams that
He's
need
gonna get a
him.
max? I don't know about that.
There's so many teams that need him, and he's like the only real point guard on the market that we know for sure right now. That's actually
Knicks
going
could use him.
to add to the team. There's so many teams that need him. He's going to get a max contract. Philadelphia can
You
use
know,
him too.
Philly,
Miami can use him.
Miami, yes.
The
Philly
Lakers
doesn't
can use
really
him.
have the money or the trade assets unless the Raptors want Ben Simmons. You think the Raptors would?
I mean,
Maybe.
they were trying to ship Kyle Lowry to wherever he wanted to go. So if he says he wants to go to Philadelphia, Ben Simmons is a Raptor.
Yeah. I'd rather have Ben Simmons than nothing, right?
I mean, at the same time, then you'd have to probably trade Siakam because I don't think Siakam and Simmons can play together.
I don't know what Simmons' role is at this point. That's a huge question.
I think you put him at power forward
Yeah, but that's where
and
Siakam
make him-
needs to be.
But I think you put him at power forward and make him essentially play like LeBron in terms of being the primary ball handler, but just at power forward or small forward.
I like Siakam more at this point, though, don't you?
None of them really strike me as players I need on my team, to be honest with you.
If you're
Siakam
the
is,
Raptors, you need one of them.
I'd say I'd rather have Simmons than Siakam. Because
Maybe.
Simmons will still find people open.
Yeah.
I'd rather have the player that I could build around. See, Simmons
And
is
that's-
more easy to build around because all you have to do is surround him with shooters, and once you do that, then the paint opens up for him, and maybe he gets his confidence back. Siakam,
That would be a
I
good
don't really know.
spot. That would be a good spot for Simmons too, because they have sort of a developmental culture there.
Yeah.
Maybe they could work on his shot and his role and his confidence and all the different things he needs working on. Plus, they don't have great expectations up there. Like, far from it. Linda,
I mean, they
would you
will
like that
soon. I
trade?
like Chris Boucher a lot.
Who?
Simmons
Chris
for Lowry.
Boucher is solid. Simmons for Lowry.
No, he's very
Linda.
solid. He's a shot blocker supreme.
Whoever is
he is.
getting Simmons loses.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you don't want to lose Lowry, but he's 36. You're getting a guy back who's, what,
I don't know
23?
about that. Yeah, I don't know about that because you're in a rebuilding stage right now, and I don't
Yeah.
really think Kyle Lowry's going to help you in 5 years, but Simmons potentially could.
That would probably be a dream return, frankly, for them. When you think about what they probably would have got at the deadline for him, they weren't looking at getting much of anything, especially from Philadelphia. What were you going to get? Like, I don't even know what they were going to be able to offer.
That's the reason why he's so much more valuable now, because all the teams that needed him and should have traded for him aren't in the play. They didn't even get to the conference finals.
Yeah. Heat fizzled out quick. Heat got swept. Heat are in a weird spot, huh? From the finals to swept in the first round. And Oladipo looks cashed.
Derrick Jones Jr. hurts them. Jay Crowder hurts them.
And then they lost to Olynyk.
Yeah.
That trade was tough for them. I guess the only win that they'll have now is that they can keep him for cheap. I just don't know how much he has left.
Victor Oladipo?
Yeah.
I don't understand. I don't understand how we got to this point. Like, I understand he wanted to be in Miami, but for him to get traded twice in a year after potentially being a superstar in the making.
Injuries.
That's a exaggeration.
No, he was second tier probably.
Superstar is like the 10 best players in the league.
Yeah, I don't know if he would have got there, but he was in the rung below it.
Yeah, he was potential all-star.
Okay.
Here comes the replay train. 12-point game with 2 minutes to go.
On Indiana,
we're going to have a long replay here.
Until Sabonis stepped up. Who was underrated, by the way.
He's a third team All-NBA kind of guy.
Sabonis?
Yeah.
He's very good. He's Jokic with less skill and more defense.
Yeah, I've always liked him. Indiana's going to be a team that a lot of teams are looking at this summer. Like, can we get this guy? Can we get that guy? No one's going to be able to get Sabonis, but you could get Miles Turner. You could get maybe Malcolm Brogdon.
I think their best case scenario was keeping Nate McMillan, and ever since they fired him,
They're in rebuild mode now for sure.
Yeah, and it makes no sense. They have good players. They have Karis LeVert, they have Miles Turner, Domantas Sabonis, Malcolm Brogdon. There's no excuse for them to be in a rebuild mode right now. It makes no sense.
I don't know if they got
very good players.
Do they have a title contending core though?
Depends. Sabonis is still developing. Karis LeVert is still developing.
And they'll have a good draft pick this year, right?
I don't really know. I'm not really high on whoever they get, to be honest. I don't know how deep the draft is this year.
You never can count on 12 or whatever it is. But way back in the day, they drafted a guy named Kawhi Leonard at 15, 16.
Traded him for Paul George, and now they play together.
No, they traded him for George Hill.
George Hill. That was bad.
What a killer. Kawhi would have fit great in Indiana, too.
Replacing Danny Granger.
But maybe he need to go to the Spurs to become great.
I can make that argument. Pop has a knack for developing great players.
Well, there goes my phone. There goes my iPad. We're down to the last piece of technology here for our final 140.
I like DeJounte Murray though.
All right, we're in the home stretch, guys. Did tonight make you feel any differently about this series?
No,
I didn't feel any way going
Suns are
in.
gonna win.
I'm
You
just
felt
here
the
so I don't
Suns
get
were in a
fined.
you felt the Suns were in a pretty dominant position.
Yeah, but only game one. Only game one.
I don't know. The Bucks shot pretty good in this. What'd they shoot from three? 44%. How are they going to do any better than that?
Got 4% from three, and they only have 102 points.
Here's the
That
biggest
doesn't
issue
add up
for
to me.
Here's the biggest issue for the Bucks. The way they play defense isn't very well suited to
That's game.
stopping the Suns. Suns have so much in between action. They do a ton of pick and rolls. And they didn't even really get Devin Booker going in this one.
Devin Booker disappeared. I don't remember seeing much of him at least. Does Bud play a lot of zone or?
Yeah.
Well, at the
I
same
think
time,
I think whatever they do, they're in trouble. You saw Lopez out on Chris Paul. That was a nightmare. They don't have great rim protection against Ayton because he's too freed up on those pick and rolls. Ayton had 22 and 19.
I think that for the Bucks to win this series, they need to make adjustments, and coach Budenholzer is their coach. So
They were squeaking by the whole way on that, huh? And when you talk about injuries, I think that is valid because, man, they did so much stupid stuff along the way that they got away with. Terrible coaching. Will Bud lose his job if they win this series? Probably not at this point, right?
How does that
No,
even
he
make
won't.
any sense?
Because he was so bad, Lindo. I mean,
he was.
I don't agree with Nate, but if that net series did go the other way, and it was certainly possible, he was certainly gone. I guess now the only thing that would save him is they'd be so late to the coaching game.
If he what?
The only thing that would save him at this point, I would think, is them being so late to the coaching game. Like, who would they even be able to get at that point? It'd be their own guy, Charles Ham.
2015 and 70%. He might get it. He's
Finals MVP?
Him and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar are the only two players to have 20 and 15 on 70%.
I can't wait to tweet about that.
History should be rewarded in awards. That's what I'll say.
With the Finals MVP.
Yeah.
Ayton right now is the most efficient playoff run ever by a player. He broke Cedric Maxwell's.
Oh, did he? Oh, is that a fact? Or were you just
broke Cedric Maxwell's record to start a playoff career through 8 games, I think it was at that point. And now he's like, what? They've played 6, 10. How many games did they play in the first round? 6, so 16. There's 17 games. He's the only player ever to still be above 70% from the field.
Yeah, DeAndre Ayton might end up being one of those picks like Hakeem, where there were other good players in the draft, but in terms of fit, it makes sense to draft them above.
I love him. One of the best rebounders in the league. His rebounds are impactful. I think he has an eye for the perimeter, and he can get out on the perimeter in defense. He is such an impactful defender, too.
Can he shoot at all?
Nah. I wouldn't have him shooting. Just rim run and throw it down and go 8 for 10.
Like Clint Capella.
Hey, look at what Clint did for the Hawks this year, and he's probably a better version of Capella.
I mean, he will be. I don't know if I can say that right now, but he will be.
Lindo, any final thoughts as we exit the series here? Game 1.
Bucks gonna pull at least one game back out of this.
I got Suns in 6. I think the Bucks are gonna look. Yeah. In Milwaukee? Yeah.
This doesn't make me feel confident in the Bucks at all. Suns in 4.
No. They're so flat right now, and they're playing a very good defense, which they haven't yet. You think they went through the Nets, who would just Swiss cheese defense, and then the Hawks are even worse at times. So they haven't really gone up against great defensive resistance since round 1, really. So this is a completely new game for them. I
I
am
mean,
surprised
Miami
though
didn't really
that
stand a chance either.
you know what does surprise me tonight is Giannis playing. I thought playing well with 20 and 17, and that really not helping them at all.
He's only took 11 shots.
Yeah, maybe he gets more comfortable, but I mean, this is probably what you're going to get from Giannis in his limited capacity, right?
But I mean,
Like,
at
he's
the
not
same
going to
time, he's the only starter with a plus. He has a +1. Everyone else has negative double digits.
It's a great stat.
Brooke
Wow.
Lopez -17.
Is
What a
that
start.
is that praise for Giannis from Nate?
Half the time, I really just be trolling.
Oh, so consider that when you
recognize-
listen to Nate in the future on
I
this
recognize-
broadcast.
It's been noted. It's
I
noted.
recognize Giannis is a good player. I just think that
Good.
people give him too much credit sometimes. That's all. I just try to balance it out.
118 to 105 is our final. Game 2 is when exactly?
Thursday.
2 days from now?
It's Thursday.
Thursday. We will be back 9 o'clock in Phoenix, and hopefully we'll get a better looking game than this one. For Nate Sperlin, for Isaiah Nins,
Why are you saying my government name?
Windows A, Nate Dogg, I'm Bobby Manning. We are out.